draft status coming up here for the NFL?
Well, it's an unprecedented story because we've never had an openly gay athlete in one of the major sports. Just you mentioned Jason Collins; he hasn't played since he came out. And the fascinating part of this story is the draft status, where he's going to end up. We've heard everywhere from second round to fifth round, and that's really where the story lands. Is will a team give him a fair shot? Will a team let him show his skills? He's been compared to Elvis Dumervil. He's a little bit undersized, so but that's the story now. A lot of people are coming out and saying he might have been a little overrated, which also might be covering their tracks because they're not willing to take a risk on a gay player.
Got it. Well, I like the fact that a lot of people are just focusing on his skills. You know, a lot of big names, team guys, GMs, coaches talking about, look, we're going to focus on this kid's talent, not who he dates. Do you think this will have any impact on his draft status when it really comes down to it?
I unfortunately do, because I think that a lot of NFL teams, more than anything, they want to stay away from the quote-unquote media circus that they most of the time bring about upon themselves. And I think that that's going to ultimately harm him here. Like I said, the minute he came out saying that he was gay, you had a lot of unnamed sources saying he was overrated, saying he doesn't fit any defense. He's undersized for defensive end. He's too slow for a linebacker. And that's kind of covering their own tracks. They're trying to say, well, we probably wouldn't have drafted him anyway. I think he can help a team. He could probably be a special teams player, outside linebacker in the league right away. The question is which team is going to take him and which team is going to take the risk.
Okay, we'll keep our eye on this one, but again, a big step forward. Hopefully this young man has a great career and helps us just put this kind of stuff behind us and even worried about the status of who you want to date and be married to. Right now, let's talk about some NBA basketball. The Bulls, we talked about this earlier this year. They traded Luol Deng, cleared up some cap space. Now people talking about maybe Carmelo Anthony, the Knicks star, a member of the Bulls?
Yeah, that's the rumor going around. I don't know if it's going to actually happen. My gut says no. The way the CBA now works, if you get a player on your team, you can then offer him more years and more money in free agency. Carmelo Anthony's going to be a free agent this summer, so the Bulls would trade for him thinking they have a better shot at keeping him long term. My gut says he's probably not going to get traded. He'll probably sign somewhere in the offseason, hopefully with Chicago, but who knows? That's kind of the hot topic because they're not good enough to be great, and they're just kind of a middling team right now.
Clearly, Carmelo Anthony would be a huge help in Chicago. Real quickly, do you think that it's realistic the Bulls can end up getting this guy?
I think in the offseason. I don't think right now with a trade because I think the Bulls have a ton of assets they don't want to get rid of.
But a lot of teams want this guy.
A lot of teams want this guy. I think that Carmelo realizes that he's in a spot in his career where he's got to try to win a championship. He's got to get to a team where the pieces are around him. And the Bulls could be that team with Derrick Rose hopefully coming back, the old Derrick Rose, and some of the pieces with Joakim Noah, Jimmy Butler around to take this team to the next level.
All right, the Bulls at 500 right now. A little hope, thinking for the future. Dan Katz, appreciate it as always. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.